100% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in over 2,500 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, Idaho, Illinois, Michigan, Montana, Oregon, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you. What's up?
Clanking his keys and opening his beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com. Yeah, JBs.
Hey.
Hi. How have you been?
I've been great. How have you been? It
Oh, I've
has
been
been
good.
forever.
Hasn't it? We're in a weird period right now.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like since the election, it's been a month since then. For some reason, I don't really know why.
I know why for me.
Okay.
Because I spent a lot of time alone.
By yourself?
Dancing on my own.
Oh, like Robin?
Laying low.
Sure.
She's in the corner.
She's in the corner watching you kiss me.
Mm-hmm. And
was it a girl kissing you or was it a boy? What was it in that one again?
I'm the one dancing alone.
Okay, got you.
Watching you kiss her.
Okay, great,
No,
great.
but no.
Well, whatever it is. It does feel like it's just been forever now, and you're like, oh, there's no more commercials.
Right.
We're all done with that. We don't have any election commercials. I haven't gotten any more emails, strange text messages from different campaigns. All of that is done, and you're like, oh, all right, I feel like I can breathe for a little bit and start to get back to reality of a Thanksgiving and a Christmas and things like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's strange not having to think about it, talk about it, and it's felt like forever, but it's been nice. It's been peaceful.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. I don't have to see another Colin Allred ad down here in Texas or any of that stuff.
I will say, though, I am going to miss a Ted Cruz. They were bonkers.
Hilarious.
And I loved them.
Hilarious, but you know, I'm all good.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I'm not going
all the
to
way
miss
around.
them, but
I'm not going to miss anything.
towards the end, they were getting to like an insane place.
Sure. It always does.
That I had to just find entertaining at that point.
It always does, doesn't it? You know?
They almost seemed as if they were parodies.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other side would put out.
Yeah, I'm like, which side put this out? Because it's making, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Because Jessie and I, when we've said this numerous times on the show, we watch local news and then whatever the nightly news is after that, and then usually like Entertainment Tonight. And it's obviously to get ready for all these shows the next day and everything else. It got to a point where the last week and a half, it was one right after another. So they were just playing one and then the other and then the other one.
Right.
But it was the same ones
Right.
over and over again. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't take this anymore. Luckily, it's all done now.
Now it's all
let's party.
Pharmaceutical.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God, last night, Jesus. How many pharmaceutical ads have
How
we
many
watched last night?
Ozempic ads have you seen?
Not many Ozempic. It's everything else.
We'll go
now.
Getting
see.
served so many knockoff Ozempic ads on Instagram and shit.
I've
like
seen those
constantly.
yeah.
And then whatever the knockoff version is, like all the time on TV.
Everyone has a knockoff now.
Yes.
Every brand, I think some of our own advertisers have their own generic
Correct.
version of it now.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah, like if it's a men's health or
Like,
women's health
so-
or
like-
something.
I know the answer to this. So like years ago, I used to have stock in a company called Gilead. Gilead ended up curing Hep C around the world. It was a big deal, made a good amount of money on that stock. And then afterwards, I sold it. I remember you were asking me, you're like, why would we sell this now? And I was like, once it's done and it's out there, there is nothing from replicating that cure or that pill or that Ozempic or anything else. There is no patent on the formula or anything else. So You can just replicate it, call it a different name,
Yeah.
and then start selling it your own.
Basically generic drugs. There's nothing
Correct.
illegal about a generic knockoff.
Same with
that's cheaper.
like our grocery store with like HEB with Tylenol. They have their own
Right.
version of Tylenol, and there's nothing you can do at that point.
It's
a
like
lot of
HEB.
I like it when
head hurt stopper.
Yeah.
I like it when grocery stores do like a knockoff name that's like really similar, so you know.
Yeah,
You know
So
what
do
I
I.
mean? Like it's like a cereal. It's not Fruit Loops. It's like Toucan Holes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Big fan of that. Big fan of that because with us and Hard AF Seltzer, everybody's like, it tastes like liquid Jolly Ranchers.
No, Toucan Holes.
Why not you just put that on the
Toucan
box?
Holes was really good.
Right, like 2 Gay Ranchers or something, like whatever
Yeah.
your thing is, your fun play on it. And I was like, no, I'm definitely not doing that. But you certainly have that option there. Speaking of which, we are live back on wefunder.com/hardafseltzer. We have left 30% of the company ownership up for you guys, so you can invest right now. There is some perks that we don't ship to, like we're opening up in Pennsylvania as far as the seltzer goes in March. We can't ship there legally, which I was like, okay, cool. So that weird liquor law still exists, but we are opening up there. So please go to wefunder.com/hardafseltzer. Join us. We're not going to make this thing succeed without you guys, and you might as well own a piece of it. Costner apparently didn't own a piece of Yellowstone, though, however, the other nights. This was a shocker, but I guess if you know Taylor Sheridan, probably not really.
Of what he did to Costner?
Yeah. Do we?
No spoilers.
No,
baby.
exactly. No,
because I need to watch it.
No spoilers on
I
this
didn't watch
side,
it.
and we're not. So I'm not going to do
I'll
that.
tell you
to
who spoiled it. Costner.
Kevin Costner.
Because he's fucking pissed.
He came out and just did it himself. So it wasn't us. I'm not going to say anything. Bob's not going to. We're all not going to say anything. But Kevin had no problem. Like, what, an hour later, it felt like he went to camera and said, fuck it.
I'm not sure if this is the one, but he's asked about the fate of his character.
Okay, play.
Yeah, there's a couple interviews. Pretty much anyone that you pick up that they're talking about Yellowstone, he'll have some kind of weird shade. So let's see what this is.
Yeah.
To ask, because of the way it all ended, I guess there's no way to avoid a spoiler alert, but are you cool with what aired last night?
So do you think sometimes I'm like just a passenger in my life, there's a lot going on. And somebody said, it played last night. I gave it 5 seasons, a couple times talked. I didn't know I was going to even do it that long.
Can't imagine that was one of them.
No, what I heard was, I heard what it was, but no, I had listen, they're smart people. They'll, whatever they're doing, they'll figure it out. But yeah, I had come up with 2 possible endings back when it wasn't going to go as long as it did go.
But you're not displeased. You're okay with the way that it ended? I have to ask.
Yeah,
Okay,
so basically,
that's a perfect clip, by the way, Bob, because then it doesn't really spoil anything.
it doesn't
that's going
spoil
on.
it. And he really doesn't. I think there's maybe one that the interviewer says it. But basically, it's this air of like, I didn't catch it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's basically like, I never heard of her kind of thing.
He said he
which
found
is
out about
such a
it
great
online
shade.
during the premiere like everybody else, and that's how he found out.
Please,
So
fucking shut up.
I don't know.
You're Costner.
I
It is. You did not know it was coming out. Where are you? Don't tell me that you're that. You know what I'm saying?
Yellowstone, I personally love the show. There's mixed results, right? People think it's it's like a soap opera or whatever. I personally love it because of that element. I enjoy it like a One Tree Hill or something like that, where I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to see this. But because of the stops and starts, there was a writer's strike, an actor's strike, COVID. The thing has been shut down so many times that even I'm lost of like, okay, where did we leave off? Even I had to ask you. I was like, did we catch this part or how did it go? It's just been so spaced out. And then he went to go shoot that, supposed to be a trilogy, ended up being 2 movies. Lost a lot of money, $100 million of his own on that project. The second one went direct to HBO. Was that worth blowing up your career on Yellowstone, making $1 million an episode for? Probably not.
The thing that resurrected his career.
Yes.
Like he would have been. He's a Hall of Famer either way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it made him relevant again.
It was a nice walk-off, Bob.
Yeah.
If he would have finished it out, boom.
And went out
he's
like a a fucking badass
Yeah.
and not whatever. Again, no spoilers, but is there any other like little clip that you think?
No,
I got another from the same interview.
Okay.
It's him. The caption is discusses the latest episode. I don't know if this is the same thing or not.
All right. Yeah. Because there's one point where the interviewer says it.
Okay.
I think we're okay to leave it just for the audience because it has
so
just
basically-
started. It is a beloved show. I don't want to be the asshole that spoils it or anything else.
So, anyways, anytime anyone asks him, it is very much like, I've never heard of her. They're doing what they want. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Which is what everybody does, right? Nobody's going to say, man, I was waiting on my couch an hour before. I started it right on time. I was watching it live. I've got Paramount Plus.
No, I think people would be like, yes, like we came to this point together and we parted ways. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So I do like that he's not doing the fake, like, we're good thing, but he's not saying, fuck that guy either. But in Costner, if you speak Costner the way that I do, you know exactly what he's saying, which is, that guy can go fuck himself. I made that show.
Sure, but I will say this. After the movie bombed, the Horizon movie bombed, he did come back and do an interview, and he said, I'd be more than happy to come back for the final season and kind of figure this out.
Yeah, and Taylor said no, and
Yep.
instead of going publicly and saying, I wanted to go back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, like, market your movie by using the show.
Yes.
Make people excited.
Yep.
Eat shit, dude.
Yeah.
You're too old to not know that you need to eat. I mean, maybe he's old enough where he's just like, I'm done eating shit.
How old
Yes,
is he, Bob?
and that's why
How old is
there's like
Costner?
this. Costner's a.
He's
69.
Oh, perfect.
You're
Perfect.
welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And that's why he's just like doesn't
Man.
give a fuck, dude.
He should. I mean, there's a lot that's gone wrong. He lost a couple ducats in that divorce as well, and you know,
Yeah, but he's fine.
he's one of
He's
those
fine.
guys who will always work. If he calls tomorrow his agent and he's like, "Hey, put me in a Marvel movie," it'll happen. Even Denzel took a Marvel movie. I know it's gonna crush your souls, guys, but even he was just like, "Fuck it, put me in the
No,
new
they
Black
like
Panther."
Marvel. They want to see Denzel in Marvel.
Oh, really? Oh, Black Panther 3. I'm good.
Well, they have
Love
to
the
do
first one, didn't like the second
They ha-
one, so I'm all good.
They have to do something since the guy's dead.
I know.
Like,
I know.
it's
Yeah. And then
What
the
do
other
you want him
guys
to do?
canceled from Hollywood, Jonathan Majors. They were like, all right, what do we do?
So we were talking about this. We were talking about Costner.
Uh-huh.
Delco said, I'm done with Costner. And I was like, whoa, but were you ever with Costner, you know?
I was with Costner.
Yeah, but since the year that he was born, Costner didn't imprint on him the way that he imprinted on us. So we give Costner a lot more leeway, I think. So anyways,
Probably because
Delco's born in-
he's won Oscars. Dances with Wolves. Like
I'm sure when
he's
was
a
Dances
two-time Oscar winner.
When was Dances with Wolves though?
89, I want to say.
Okay, before he was born.
I wasn't
Yeah.
90, but yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Again,
Like
wasn't alive.
wasn't alive.
Yeah, no, I get it.
A lot of these movies, though, are like cable movies that you catch on. So, like, I'm
Field of Dreams is still my...
Who's on the IMDb
I've
right now?
never seen
I am.
Field of Dreams.
I'm on
actually.
IMDb.
I've never
And
seen
he-
Field of Dreams. My favorite Costner movie though is Bull Durham.
Okay.
Yeah.
So but
Okay.
that was in the 80s, I think, right?
Yes.
88 maybe?
89,
Yes,
I think.
88.
Okay.
Also, here's another one that I know you have to like. There's no way you don't like it because it's you, The Untouchables.
I like The Untouchables.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
his
am
worst one.
not a big fan of Tin Cup though.
What?
Oh, boy. I love Tin Cup.
We give if you were alive during the Costner imprint, you
Yep.
give him so much
Leeway.
leeway and grace.
Yep.
He's the best Robin Hood
Nope. No, I can't do
To
that
ever-
one. Can't do that one.
to ever play the part.
Yeah, I can't do that
Name
one.
another one. Name a better Robin Hood
I'm
right
not
now.
Russell Crowe. Come on.
No, I never saw it.
That's
I mean,
enough.
my Robin Hood is Carrie Ewells or Carrie Elways, however you say it.
Oh, from...
Men in Tights.
Men in
yeah,
Tights.
Men in Tights. But yeah, not a big fan of that one. I'll give you my favorite guilty pleasure Costner movie. It's Waterworld. I actually liked Waterworld.
Waterworld has its place in history for sure.
Bodyguard.
Being like the biggest flop
Bodyguard.
ever.
Bodyguard, guys. I mean,
Bodyguard?
He was so good in The Bodyguard that they asked him to speak at
Bodyguard?
Whitney Houston's funeral.
I've never
No,
seen
he
it.
wasn't so good in The Bodyguard. He was
Come
a
on.
cardboard box in The Bodyguard.
He
but
saved her life.
somehow,
Saved her life.
but again, because it's Costner, we let him be The Bodyguard.
Right. You let him do Draft Day.
Now you quit it,
I didn't
and
like
now you
Draft Day.
quit
I
it
didn't
right
like
now.
Draft
Draft
Day.
Day taught a lot of people about the inner workings. Right? That was a
tell you what,
documentary,
I didn't
no?
like Draft Day.
Speaking of documentaries, on par with Draft Day, one he was excellent in is JFK.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah. He
actually
was good.
excellent?
Yeah, he was good in it.
I loved him in JFK.
And that got nominated for a bunch of stuff.
I feel like there was a lot of meat on the Highwayman bone. That could have been so much better.
yeah, it was kind of whatever.
I don't know what that one is.
It was it was the dudes hunting down Bonnie and Clyde. It was on Netflix. It was with him and Woody Harrelson.
Name me is
That's
there a
it.
romantic one? Name me a
There's a ton.
romantic comedy one.
There's
he did
a
a couple
ton.
of those.
He did a bunch of rom-coms.
3,000 Miles to Graceland.
No.
Great movie, though.
For the Love of the Game is both
Oh,
baseball
yeah.
and
Kelly
romantic.
Preston. Yeah.
Okay.
He just kept making baseball
Oh,
movies.
Message in a
He
Bottle.
played baseball in
Oh,
Ventura.
Message in a Bottle.
Tin
yeah.
Cup is a rom-com. It's a
It
sports
is.
rom-com. but
It
it's
is
a
great.
rom-com.
And it's so good.
It's
That's
good.
actually where he shines. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In being like the only good scenes in Bodyguard were when he was just like, you know what I mean?
And actually, Tin Cup, Bull Durham is a rom-com too.
It is. It really is. At its heart,
True, but
at its heart, as a writer, that is 100% a rom-com. Developed around
All right,
a
what else?
baseball
What
scene.
else?
My whole thing is he gets a lot of fucking love and a lot of prestige for very okay movies.
yeah.
There's another movie I liked. I liked The Postman. I know that was a weird one that nobody else liked, but let's see.
I enjoyed the
What was
Hatfield and
the
McCoy
synopsis?
series.
What was the synopsis? Oh, yeah, that's true, actually. What was the synopsis of Post?
Postman was like post-apocalyptic thing, or like this. Was it the Civil War? And he was delivering. Yeah.
It was post-apocalyptic America, and he finds a postman's uniform and starts. He's a drifter, and essentially people are like, "What? Is the government back? Are you a postman? Is the government back?" And he was like, he lies just to like get free food, and then he gives everyone hope, and then they fight against this like warlord.
I know Jesse loves Swing Vote.
Swing votes.
Swing vote, I didn't.
I don't know what that is.
Look,
Do you mean because I'm a swing voter?
Hidden Figures.
Open Range
Open range. No.
is Western.
So he goes through phases, right? So baseball, he went through baseball phase.
Yep.
Then he did kind of like a gangster, you know what I mean? Mobster sort of
I did not like
phase.
Mr. Brooks. That was probably your era there, Delco, with Dean
And then
Cook.
he went Western.
Didn't even realize it was in Molly's Game.
What was he in Molly's Game?
Larry Bloom.
Barely.
That's right. Wyatt
that
Earp. Wyatt Earp went up
dad?
against Tombstone that year.
Did he do something with Diane Lane? He's an alcoholic or something.
He's in Man of Steel with Diane
Yeah.
Lane.
It was
the dad of Superman.
he's the dad of Superman.
Well, adopted.
Is that Diane Lane actually?
It's probably not.
It is Diane Lane.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay, what's the other one that he did with her? Was it her? Gosh.
I don't know, man.
No. Now you're stuck there. So, looking back on it, who knows?
No, it's
telling
like
you
a
that-
rom-com.
The resume's not there.
Come on, dude.
He's a Hall of
Find
Famer. He's a Hall of Famer.
Bob, find it.
What rom-com? What do
We
you
talking
what do
like
you
It's like
Basketball
he
Hall of
was
Fame?
like an alcoholic and like, I don't know, him and maybe Diane Lane got together.
He was in Hidden Figures.
No.
Does that do it?
No.
He helped the black people get to space, right? Wasn't that about that movie?
Just put in Diane Lane and Kevin Costner movies.
Yeah, Man of Steel comes up.
That
Okay.
can't be it.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched the Horizon series?
Let Him Go. Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe.
That's it. It's a thriller / Western.
Have
Nope,
you tried?
that's not it.
Have you tried the American Saga yet? Part 1 and Part 2?
No.
Did you see it?
No. I'm trying to-
I have yet to do it. Yet.
It's on HBO. I want to
Nobody's
see it. It
fucking
looks
seen it,
good,
man.
but that's what cost him $100 million. Either way, Taylor Sheridan doesn't care. He's back. He just dropped that trailer for the new Oil Man thing.
That looks fucking good.
Fucking awesome. And Taylor Sheridan's like, hey, dude, I'm so good that I just don't need you or anybody else. Fuck right off.
I don't think that's completely true, though. Like, I really think he should have let him come back.
For Yellowstone, I did.
Anytime with Costner came back and said,
Give the people what you
"Bro,"
want.
and don't
Yellowstone also made Taylor Sheridan.
Don't shoot yourself.
After
Yeah.
Sicario. So, yeah.
Like-
because that real money was in the TV money for Taylor Sheridan. So.
And I guess Kevin Costner like shopped Yellowstone and got funding for it in the beginning.
Yeah, he attached himself to starring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, don't shoot yourself in the foot. It would have been fucking amazing if he comes
two
back,
big
right?
swinging dicks.
I
going
know.
at it, you
What's
know?
crazy too is that like Kevin Costner never even does anything in Yellowstone.
Exactly. Like, what
Like
are you
he just
working
walks
so
in
hard?
and like says something growly and folksy, and then Rip goes and beats the fuck out of everyone.
Right.
And then comes back and he's like, "Yes, sir, took care of it." And then
Yes.
Kevin Costner is just like, "It's our land."
Yep. And the reason why, Bob, is he only allowed him to shoot for 18 days, all of his singles first, and then he fucked right off. And he was a pain in the ass to work with. That's what everybody said behind the scenes, and they hated him. So it is what it is over there, for old Kev. He
The
didn't do himself
upside of
any
anger.
favor. Oh, upside of anger. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you got it. There you go.
With Joan Allen. Remember when Joan Allen was like
Boy,
do you know what I mean?
it's a rough one for me. No.
Joan Allen?
Could never really get off to Joan Allen.
Yeah. Can we just show a picture real quick of like hot ass Joan Allen that used to
Boy.
be like a thing that people would put out there?
Did
and
it used to be a thing?
Jesse's
think they
Jesse's
did.
living on another planet today.
Didn't they? She's
No,
definitely
she's a
played.
good
They
actor.
might have tried. I don't even
That's what I
know
mean,
which
they
one
tried.
to pick. She looks
I know.
old in all of them.
Yeah, she's
There's
one of
young
those
Joan
people.
Allen.
Exactly, she's one of those people who's looked 48 years older her entire life.
That's the thing I never understand. I guess it was a thing in the 90s when I was too young to realize it. Like I've said this before on the show where like there's some women that when you're a boy you don't find attractive, right? Like you gravitate to like Pam Anderson just to go with my era.
Right.
You don't
Yeah.
necessarily think that like Elaine from Seinfeld is hot until you get older.
Right.
Right. You think Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox on Friends are hot.
Right.
But like Elaine takes it's a more mature taste. And one that I never got but was like people said in the 90s all the time, "Oh, she's beautiful," is Meryl Streep.
Yeah, I don't think anyone.
People used
She
to be
was
like,
never
"Oh,
like
she's
a sex-
gorgeous. She's beautiful." Yeah.
No.
No,
She was. People, well, I don't think she was, but people said that. Like that in roles like Death Becomes Her. She's like sexy.
I'm
and,
gonna need
right.
you to
never
pull up a
do
photo.
it.
Pull
Yeah.
up a photo. Of
No.
what? A young Meryl Streep. I've never seen.
Oh,
her
really?
young.
Pull
her
up,
up. Pull up from the.
Pull up
Looks
from
the same.
Letters from the Edge or something.
Yeah.
That was the one where they were like, or no, do Death Becomes Her. Yeah.
Either way, Meryl Streep has always looked the same forever and just gotten a little older.
Oh, you know what? Pull that one up.
Yeah.
You know which one.
Far right, second from the right.
White
Yep.
dress. Yeah.
There you go.
Where you go, okay, but not.
she looks like Meryl Streep.
Exactly. Exactly. She really does. There's no other way to describe her other than Meryl Streep. She's
Which is
always
why
Meryl
she
Streep.
like in her recent stuff, I think going back to, I don't know, 2011 probably, is she does a lot of like teeth. You know, she has to do the fake teeth or glasses work or like
Yeah.
she has to do some
lot
kind
of
of
wig work.
thing to make herself not Meryl Streep.
Okay, this man in the chat is insane.
Why? What is he
What?
He says Scarlett Johansson does nothing for me.
saying? Who is that?
Well,
Who's saying that?
That's just wrong. Objectively, that's just
Well,
wrong.
hey
Yeah.
guys, we do. There is a blind option on here for blind people that just listen to the show. So maybe he's never seen what Scarlett Johansson
But here's the
looks
thing,
like.
though.
He could be
Scarlett
blind.
could get me off voice alone.
That's
So
so,
I don't
true.
even think that-
That's so true. Like in
Also,
her.
The
Yeah.
things you hear about her too, like maybe a bit of a demon in the sack.
I mean,
Yeah,
Have we heard that?
sure have.
also, I mean,
Sure have.
not unattainable. She's married to
Yeah,
Colin Jost.
Right.
is gonna
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
like,
You just need Colin Jost.
yeah.
what am I
Money,
doing
I
here?
guess, right?
Friend
My
of the
wife.
show used to date her. So
Money, though.
yeah.
Right.
Yep. Friend of the show used to date her. So yeah.
Right, yeah, obviously there's things Colin Jost has that I don't have, but what I'm saying is on looks alone, not
Sure.
unattainable.
And
Colin Jost
by
is
the
a
way,
better looking man than you.
she's very cool and funny in real life. Where you're just like, okay, dude, I get it. I get like we understand it.
I don't think Colin Jost is an unattractive man. I'm saying he's not stopping anyone in their track.
Right.
She was married to Ryan Reynolds. There is a gulf
No.
Yes.
of difference
Yes.
Yes.
between those two
Sure
people.
is.
Yeah.
Sure is. I mean, that is
100%.
that's an ocean.
There's a top for every pot.
You
You know?
Yeah.
And some of the tops don't fit.
Eventually,
and you go, really?
I think you just want to
guess not.
settle down and be like, all right, how can I live in New York, do some cool stuff, have somebody who's probably not going to cheat on me, and
Girls
it's a
just want
Colin
to.
Jost.
Girls just want to laugh if you have money. Do you know what I mean?
Just that's
They
it.
just want to laugh.
Some
and
giggles at
buy
the end of the
stuff,
day. Boy,
Cannot stress enough
Whoopsie
that this
daisy.
person married Scarlett Johansson.
I know.
Wowee.
Yeah, it looks like a school shooter right there.
Listen, everybody has a bad high school photo.
No, and it's fine.
Right.
and it's
I
fine.
think everyone should.
Yeah.
And if you
Anyone
don't have
that's
a
gonna
bad
be
high school
worth the
photo,
shit.
you have a
Exactly.
bad now photo.
Yeah. If you don't have a bad high school photo,
God, the one though.
we don't
is
like you as a person, probably.
Matthew McConaughey. I just saw him on another show yesterday, and even because his frat pictures and all that stuff are legendary, his high school pictures are legendary. He still keeps getting better looking, that fucking guy. It's nuts, dude. It's absolutely nuts. There's a few of them where you're just like, man, you just keep getting better.
Oh,
looking.
it's
God
like
damn it,
like a Brad Pitt. If that's your high school photo, like, bro.
I know, and it's gonna be a great life.
Yeah.
If you're able to continue that,
Right.
Or just be the head writer for SNL, and then maybe you could swap things out. Either way, we're gonna dip back in the archives today. Here, remember Justine Bateman?
I
Family
do.
Ties?
I do.
Did you catch reruns of that, or did you catch it like live? Because it played on Nick at Night and TNT and TBS and all that other shit. For
When
years
was
and years
it running
and years.
live? I probably caught it towards the end.
80s. I think it was late 80s, maybe.
Okay, I probably caught it towards the end.
Okay.
Surprisingly, like Bob was like, "Yeah, I know who she is."
Yeah.
So like, I think she's weirdly a household name for.
It was one of the biggest
some reason.
sitcoms of all time, I think.
Right.
Probably top 20
Yeah.
of all time.
Yeah,
And
for
plus,
sure.
because we don't have it anymore, it's like, Family Ties and Michael J. Fox. And, that was a big one. That also made
It was
Michael J. Fox.
really good.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Was that studio audience or single?
Studio
camera?
audience.
Okay.
And with that, she's also Jason Bateman's brother.
Right. Sister.
That's right, sister. Sorry. Flip it. And we've talked about Jason Bateman on the show being super left. I did not know she was super right and was like a big Trump supporter and all that other stuff, which is shocking because he's so famous and so
Does she talk about Trump specifically, or
Yes.
is she just not?
over and over and over again. And
okay.
I had no idea because she's one of those people that made a ton of money and then just kind of bounced and was like a hippie and was like, I can act, I can not act. I don't really care. I can just raise a family. Like
It was
doesn't matter.
surprising just because of her vibe
Yeah.
that she. Do you know what I mean?
She reminded me of somebody in Ojai,
Yes.
where it was just like, okay, cool.
Yes.
I had no idea there. And after the election, obviously a bunch of people have been having meltdowns. Well, she's picked up like 250,000 followers on Twitter because she's been doing these reviews of the reaction videos of these people who are losing their mind. And they're very funny because it's written like an art professor. Describing some of them.
Yeah.
So, Bob, if you want to pop one up there and then go through it, I've laughed at these fucking forever, and I had no idea she was this funny.
So here's a little 16-second one that
Okay.
she does here.
It seems to have been overlooked this week, so I just wanted to remind you that we said we're not going back.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, Bob, read her synopsis of this video here.
And think of your
Art professor.
theater
Yep. Yes.
teacher
Yep. Yes.
or something of this nature.
Yeah.
Yep. Very interesting script. This is a reverse psychology spin on if you don't quiet down back there, I'm turning this car around directive. The director makes with powerful choice of presenting the POV of the child. The actress leans directly into camera, creating an immersive experience. We are the child. The reference of
So good.
this week is meant to throw the child off balance, causing them to remember the events of the entire week. Telling the child, we are not going back is a clever tactic to induce the child to insist, no, we are going back. We know immediately that this is a rebellious child, necessitating this kind of handling. Wardrobe makes a great contribution with the addition of the glasses. They serve as goggles or binoculars, peering into the child's soul, into our soul. However, The actress pushes the intent too much in her delivery of, we said we are not going back. The script is good. She should be directed to trust the material. Finn.
God, that's great.
Does it not kind of remind you of your Texas ranting a little bit?
Yeah,
I mean, yours are very well, a little bit better written, but like, do you know what I mean?
This is like coverage. It's like script coverage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
that's exactly what it is. And we don't have to go through all the videos here because she's done like maybe 15 or 20 of these.
Oh, yeah.
Picked up a big following. However, that one, Bob, go to that one with her brother.
Yeah.
This one I loved because she actually took on one of herself that somebody had posted. And they're saying, you know, obviously this is an unfavorable picture of her and then her brother. And then
I doubt it's from the same time. This looks like Bateman from 15 years ago, first off.
You know, you don't know with him. He looks so
Jason,
good these days.
His
that you're
face
just
is
like,
he's a little more gaunt today. He does look great, but his face is fuller here.
yeah, maybe that's true.
So for the audio listeners, I'll read the tweet first, and then Bob, you can read in that voice again what she said about it. So it's a side-by-side of Justine Bateman and her brother, Jason Bateman. It says, hate really does erode you physically. One of these siblings is MAGA. Obviously, that is Justine Bateman, and they're saying Jason looks great. Now, she answered, Bob.
Confusing reference. Give more detail on your topic here. Your two sentences seem unrelated. Bridge them with a reference, see above. Erosion is physical by default, so think of another verb that will give you the irony that seems you saw it in the physical mention. Provide either source citation in the second sentence or write a follow-up essay. Otherwise, the reader's left confused by the reference.
It's pretty good, right? I mean,
It's really good.
As far as like a vehicle, I like it.
It's just
I like it.
a funny Twitter thing that you're like, great, I will follow
Because
the
my
accounts.
God, the content is endless.
It's going to be endless forever, and then she can keep doing this, and she's gained a huge following now, which is even funnier to me.
Who fucking knew?
I know. I had no idea. But I laughed at these, and I just found them at random. Like, it just popped up on my feed. So, yeah, then I threw her a follow after that. But that was good times. Good times.
Yeah, I like that because honestly, you know, what's the other option? You either just like scroll past, roll your eyes at stuff, or you try and like have an argument that isn't, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That goes nowhere.
Yeah.
So it's a good outlet. Do you know what I mean?
It is.
It's a good outlet. It's not screaming. It's not hateful. It really is just like, this is what it is. And this has to be funny right now.
Yeah, and that's
like
kind of
it.
where we're at.
Interesting.
And
Good
it's an
for
interesting
her.
spin and a take where you're like, okay, cool. It is possible to cut through the crowd and create your own audience as long as it's something unique that's like
Where does
funny and witty. She used to live in Los Angeles.
Of course. I'm just wondering where she lives.
Today, not sure.
I mean,
Not
by the way,
sure.
she still could live there, but
Yeah. Yeah.
because she doesn't
but clearly
really
doesn't care.
Yeah, she's not in the like Hollywood machine anymore.
No, and hasn't been for a long time, out of choice, where it's just like, all right, cool, man. I don't really fucking care. I think she showed up in Arrested Development, maybe.
She had
She was
done
in
that.
one.
That
She was
a
in
while
one ep
ago.
of Arrested
Yeah.
Development, and that was in the original run.
Wasn't
Yeah.
she like
She played a prostitute.
a prostitute hitting on
Yeah.
her brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. She's funny. She's really
She
funny.
is very funny, actually.
Grammys just came out the other day, and I called this Delco. I want my fucking flowers today, okay? Kendrick Lamar, Song of the Year. Record of the Year, too. So,
I don't
Down
think
here.
Delco's mic is working.
yeah, I don't think he's working.
Must be a down here.
Yeah.
He's gotta sing the song at the show. Like, there's a very real shot. Pull up the record and Song of the Year. There's a real shot he'll win. Nothing has been number one this long the entire summer. Even that Shabuzi song was like number 2 behind it the entire summer. So,
Like I said, bad year.
yeah, well, it is a bad year if you're giving Beyonce 14 fucking nominations for the country album that nobody liked. So, yeah, it is. And a lot of people were bitching, and they were like, hey, dude, it's so many women. There's too many women. Women were the only ones who put out albums this year. So, sorry.
Who's saying, hey, dude, there's too many women?
Look at the list, and you tell
I know,
me.
but who's saying,
It wa-
hey, dude?
It was just on Twitter, like
Oh.
women dominate and everything else, because that Beyonce album nobody really liked. But to be fair, there was no dudes who put out anything. So like, what are we comparing it to?
I do that all the time at parties. I'm like, whoa, dude. There's way too many women.
Way
Yeah.
too many women here,
know you
dude.
do.
Don't like it.
No.
Too many
Am I right?
bitches. I saw a funny sketch the other day that was like 2 frat guys like not letting anyone, even themselves, into their party, so the ratio was all chicks.
Yeah. Necessary.
Yeah.
Necessary. So,
All right, so I'll read the record of the year.
Yeah.
Now and Then, which was the AI version of the Beatles. I actually really like that song. It was great. And
who's going to go up and accept?
well,
Paul's alive, but
Paul's alive.
It'll be Ringo.
it'll be Ringo
But he
popping
didn't-
up there.
Okay.
Texas Hold'em by Beyonce.
First off, so this
You
is a
gotta
record, which
give-
means song.
Song, correct.
Right,
Which is
and-
always weird to me.
Yeah, I know.
Because there is a song of the year, too.
I like
which is-
Texas Hold'em as a song.
Yeah.
The album had like 4 good tracks. It was not that great. It was
Yeah.
okay. It was not that great. But
It got
Texas-
a lot of airplay. It was on TikTok a lot. It was on Instagram a lot. That ain't Texas. It's that one.
I know.
I know you do, but in case there's somebody else out there who's like,
Nobody
I don't fucking care.
doesn't know that song.
Bob's Sabrina
Unfortunately.
Carpenter popped up there.
Espresso. Probably not the best song on the album, but you know what? Who cares? They're all great.
Future put out 2 albums this year. 0 nominations.
Really? He was one that started all of that, too.
I would hope he gets nominated. I'm not seeing him right now.
We'll look in a second here.
album.
That Charlie, it's the 360 one. It's not the Brat one, huh? Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. I didn't really listen to that album.
I will,
Snooze.
but it's just that song.
Snooze.
I will say, "Birds of a Feather" was
Good?
Pretty. It's just
Okay.
big. I'm not saying it's good, but it's like lots of play.
Okay. And then
It's
Kendrick
okay,
Lamar,
too.
Not Like Us, obviously. That Chapel Roan chick. The Taylor Swift in the Post Malone song wasn't very good either. Like, that wasn't a good song.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the one to put forward.
I actually don't. This might have been Chapel Roan's only song this year, but I'm not like a huge fan of.
Why
that
is it
one.
record of the year? Shouldn't it be song of the year?
Well, I think there is a song of the year, Bob. So if you keep going,
It's a confusing thing.
It's
They
a
addressed it
very-
last year a little bit, and I
Not
also
Like Us
still don't
is
get it.
one song.
there you go. Song of the year. So a bar song, Tipsy. Yes, that makes total sense. Birds of a Feather. I do know that song. That is a good song.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense. Die with a Smile.
Lady
Gaga.
and Bruno?
No.
That song's boring as shit.
Boo. Fortnite again with Taylor Swift and Post Malone. No. Good Luck, Babe. Who is that? Chapel Roan.
Chapel Roan.
Not Like Us. Kendrick Lamar. Please, please, please.
So Sabrina Carpenter has a different one for Song of the Year than she does for Record of the Year, which is just fucking odd.
Strange.
And how is Chapel Roan not like hot to go or
I don't think those were this year.
okay?
Let me
Yeah.
double check.
Pink Pony Club?
Pink Pony Club. Those were all 2023.
Oh shit.
So yeah, those were all released in 23. So
Okay, and then Texas Hold'em again. But look, in my opinion, he's got to sing the song. And then what happens? Can you rap an entire pedophile song on live television?
dude,
But
it's on the radio. They say
I know.
pedophile
I
on
know,
the radio.
I know. So it's like, I guess we're doing that. And then he's obviously got to do it at the Super Bowl as well. That's what got him into the Super Bowl, for Christ's sakes. Now, Delco, here's where you were correct, and I'll give you your flowers back. You gave me mine, I'll give them back to you. Lil Wayne had a live performance the other night, and man, it was just as awful as you said. And no, he just can't, his voice is gone. He can't do the Super Bowl.
It's like 50. And he's been drinking syrup half his life.
Yeah, he just can't do the Super Bowl. It was a rough performance, for sure. And people were online were like, "Oh, okay, that's why Kendrick Lamar is doing it." But yeah, I would imagine he's got to show up and sing this song on live TV. The funniest one to me, though, that's album of the year, Jesse, is the Andre 3000 one where he's just playing the flute for like an hour.
I think that's great.
So
that's
do I,
on there.
and
But,
I
like,
hope he wins
is
because I would laugh my ass off.
Is Shabuzi gonna be like overshadowed because of?
Kendrick Lamar, yeah, I think so.
I mean, controversial opinion here, but that just makes me think Drake should win Artist of the Year because it took his inspiration for Kendrick Lamar to actually put out music.
It did. And it took Future to even put that whole shit together.
And Metro Boomin.
Yeah, dude.
I was
really
mistaken, though.
surprised.
Future is nominated for Best Rap Album.
Okay, thank
So,
you.
yeah,
Thank you. He should probably win for that, right?
Probably.
Yeah. There was no better one than him.
The J.
but,
Cole album was pretty meh.
But yeah, it's a strange one because they play that song everywhere, and when they get to the A minor part in it, that just drags out. Everybody knows it, including kids. Where you're just like, what the fuck?
Right.
It's pretty wild. Number one for, I think it broke the all-time record for rap. It was like 23 consecutive weeks. So yeah, he's got to sing that song on TV. And then Bob, we got to get tickets for Wicked yesterday.
Okay.
Want to give you a heads up on this. It was for kids. They're doing a choir thing at the school, and then the choir's going and blah, 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 right? So they're already sold out, and it's 3 weeks away, 2 weeks away. That movie looks like it's on pace to destroy. Holy shit.
I mean, it's people love that.
Bob, I'm talking a 4 o'clock show.
Yeah.
Is sold out in
Well,
the
maybe
afternoon.
it's other choirs. Maybe it's
Yeah,
choir
that
shows.
Friday they
By the
fill
way,
with choirs.
I just want to note that I get shit on all the time for being a theater kid, and your boys are going to see Wicked for their choir. Good for them.
Bob,
Yes.
I was in theater my entire life. I did a play in kindergarten, 3rd, 4th, 5th, all through high
We
school.
shit on you for being a theater kid and then never supporting any theater
Yeah.
stuff that comes
I
out.
support all
That's
Yeah.
what we shit on you about. It's like, hey, did you end up seeing
We
fucking
still go to
West
Broadway
Side Story,
plays.
bud?
Exactly,
you like, didn't
dude.
catch
And then you
it.
didn't catch it.
It's
but
hard to catch.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Kids,
catch it. I know.
got little
It's
babies.
hard to catch it.
You know what's funny, Bob? So at my high school, as I played sports and football and all that other stuff. While you doing theater, as soon as they popped their head in there and saw every hot girl in there, they were like, I never heard another word after that. And it was
Literally.
I was like the Chris Klein of the fucking American Pie sitch, and it was great. Like, so yeah, and I know why he's doing it too, for the same fucking reason.
What, your kid? Oh, yeah. It's a great place to meet chicks.
It's all hot girls.
It literally is. Yeah,
It's all hot girls. I did choir, I did theater, I did all of it. I did choir shit all through high school for that exact reason of like, it's hot girls, bro. Let's do it.
And you went to school with girls.
Yes.
I didn't.
Oh, shit, bro.
He was doing theater with the boys.
Oh, you were doing theater with the...
I would have
That's
left
like
that
the
part
only-
out.
Fun boys.
That was the only extracurricular where there were girls.
Oh.
Because
Okay.
all the all-girls schools would come and do shows.
Ah, all right.
So it'd be
That's why he doesn't seem like he's really that into it, because he wasn't.
Yeah.
I was. What are you
Do know what I
talking
mean?
about?
No,
I was cheating on West Side Story.
I know.
Yeah. But yeah, as soon as he said it, I was like, yep, go for it. Go for it. It's all the hot girls in there, so good for him.
Well, I signed him up, and
Yeah,
he was
well-
like, oh, and then he was like, first day, love it, Mom, I love it. I was
because
like,
he plays sports
told you,
too, and
bitch.
it's just like, hey,
Yeah.
dude, let's not.
And it's the only extracurricular I feel like that's co-ed that like has fun girls in it. Like you're not going to meet fun girls in like Model UN or newspaper.
Yeah.
No,
You know what I
or
mean?
yearbook. You're not going to meet him in
That's
yearbook.
not where the fun ones are. They're in theater.
They're in theater, they're in choir,
Yeah.
What do you mean by fun?
or soccer.
I mean, dirty 15-year-old whores,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah. Is
That's what we mean, bro.
Yeah. So.
Were
That's
we
where it's at.
unclear?
Were we unclear about that, or should we make that more clear back? Because
You
when we were
disarm
15,
them. You disarm
that's
them
all we
because
cared
they
about.
think you might be gay, but you're not,
Yeah.
and then it all just works out. You know?
He could be though one of the only kids in jiu-jitsu and also choir, which is hilarious. So, yeah.
Jiu-jitsu, soccer, football, choir, and
But
then
all those other things are like
possibly-
all dudes, especially
I know.
like
I know.
sports is co-ed for a little bit, but
You know what's
Yeah.
not? Gym
No, it's
class
not.
in high school. It's dope.
Yeah, gym is great, but you get to a certain age though where it gets competitive, and they're already at that age, like 4th grade and beyond. They're competitive against each other, and they want to win. They also want to impress the girls in gym class by winning, so it's like that's part of it too,
Yeah.
where you're actually trying and you're sweating, and you're like, all right, well, shit.
By the way, Texas sports isn't really co-ed.
Yeah,
I didn't know if it was like I know from my childhood. I think soccer was co-ed till like 3rd grade, and
yeah, they stop at 2nd or 3rd. Yeah,
same with like
Yep.
baseball and softball didn't split until I think 3rd
Correct.
grade. Yeah.
I coached one girl on a team. I think she was in 2nd grade is when it went up to, and even that was rough. It was just like her strike zone was this big, and it was a coach pitch, and I could not throw a strike to this girl. I was like, oh my god. I love the bravery and everything else, but she'll dominate softball.
To be fair, our son sucked too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it is what it is.
Yeah. Everybody at that age is not.
It's
yeah.
hard unless you're a phenom to really do well.
in Texas. Yeah,
No, to do well at that grade.
Texas, though, they got kids
Coach pitch.
they got kids that are 5, and then they're playing with minor leaguers who are dipping already on the field. Where you're just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but they started pretty early, and they had some kind of interest or talent, right?
It's so much different than other states. I mean, holy shit.
And
North Carolina was not like that at all.
I will say baseball, I think, is probably different than other sports.
No. Did you hear about the spring game for the this is a crazy one, actually. This is just for the state of Texas, but our 6-year-old, they have a spring season for football. So he just finished fall, lost in the playoffs, and they have a spring season for it. That you're actually under Friday Night Lights at 6 years old on Friday nights. There's an announcer for the game. There's flag and tackle. Now, we signed him up for tackle. There wasn't enough kids to do it.
You got to make weight.
Yep.
That sucks.
Yeah. I had to too, man. I had to do that too.
I was a bigger kid.
Same. See, sometimes you're running around, spitting all over the ground, trying to lose that extra pound, and sometimes you're not.
Getting all that CTE at 8.
Yeah. But, there's Friday Night Lights here in Texas. It's 6 years old. I was like, no fucking way. And way. is the
And
answer.
way.
I was
And I can't wait.
I know. It'll be a blast. But really surprised by it. I was like, 6? All right. Shit. Let's rock, dude. Let's do it. James, you got any fun crime corners or nooks out there in the world today? I like seeing somebody get killed
there
today.
in the world today.
I know we usually do on Patreon, but I would like to see somebody kind of die today.
We do. Don't press it yet, Delco.
Well, we're on.
Delco, don't press it.
Don't press it yet, Delco, because we do have a nature nook. But I wanted to just briefly touch on Armie Hammer for 1 second.
Oh,
Can I?
shit. Yeah, go ahead. Yes. I'm happy to talk about
I feel like we
Armie
may
Hammer.
be getting ahead of something or not. I'm not sure, but I just want to make sure that we have it on record.
Okay.
That
Is he okay?
I might
he's
like
better than
Armie
ever.
I mean,
Hammer
the
now.
last time we checked in on him, he was selling his car.
Sure was.
Selling his truck, right?
Yep.
And then before that, it was like grainy photos, Cayman Islands,
Timeshares.
timeshare. I think he did it all right? Wasn't anywhere, wasn't talking, laying low, letting the documentary come out, speaking for itself. No one was really convinced,
Selling weeks down in the Caribbean.
right?
Yeah.
And you go like, what the fuck is going on?
Which is, I guess, where he lived for a little while.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
think
like,
he
bef-
was.
like pre cannibalism. Like, I think he grew up there for a little while.
Did
or
your
something
parents
like
I
get
don't
in
think
on
there was any-
timeshares?
No.
Or
Mine
just
didn't.
mine?
No.
Just yours.
Just my
For sure.
parents?
Yeah, we didn't have a timeshare. We didn't have any of that stuff.
We had a Winnebago. So, an old Winnebago.
We had a week in St. Martin every 2 years.
No every 2 years.
What?
Jesus Christ.
How many families did you
For
split
the
that with?
Yeah.
For the
And then
cost?
how much
Parish?
was it?
Was it
Yeah.
a fucking church timeshare?
By the way,
there's 52 weeks, right? So
for the cost,
104 weeks. You got one out of 104?
yeah.
he could have
Man.
straight up rented a place and just
Yep.
had it be empty for
And
that amount.
Yeah,
probably,
you
right?
could have just, booked it the day before, probably for the same price if you wanted to.
Not back in those days. There was no Airbnb.
Oh, you're right. It wasn't. There wasn't any of this
Now
stuff, yeah.
people that own timeshares are like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? But so laid low, right? And then kind of started to pop up here and there on some podcasts, which is the only way to come back, really.
Yeah,
Right?
and if you're honest and cool and funny, there is a way out because, like I've said ad nauseum on this show, we're not really making that many movies anymore, or whatever. So why not? And Armie Hammer started a podcast. Tell everybody the name of it.
I think it's Armie Hammer time.
Armie Hammer time.
It is, yeah,
I just followed him.
which is funny.
I gave him a follow too. So
the
he doesn't
podcast
have-
or him personally?
it's the podcast page. There's like
Okay.
29,000.
Well, he just started.
Yeah, just
There's
started.
only, I think,
So
2
this
episodes
is-
in.
Right. So there's only content from the podcast. He had, I guess, a weed farmer on, and then
Tom Arnold? Was
Didn't-
Tom Arnold on?
I think he did Tom Arnold.
Okay.
And then he did an episode with his super Christian, crazy mom. And they said it all and did it all.
Okay.
And it was, I don't know. Which one do you think? We've got to show one to set it up first. So I think maybe the Bible one, if you go back.
Who is this?
It's Armie Hammer's mom, and he's interviewing his mom live on the
If
show.
you go back, the Bible one, yeah. So this is just kind of like setting the scene of them sitting down.
Okay.
Mom, Thank you for coming on the podcast. Not a big fan. Not a big fan of the place, not a big fan of the neighborhood, which is fine. You brought me another Bible. So this would be the 4th Bible that you've given me in the last 2 times that I've seen you. I found one in my car that you put in my car. I found this one, and then I've got these 2 that you gave me. So thank you for coming. Thank you for bearing gifts. Welcome to my home.
This is not your home, by the way. But I mean, seriously, Armie.
Hi, Mom.
So that's setting the scene a little bit.
Why is it not his home, by the way?
So what I'm kind of getting from that is, so he comes from a very insanely wealthy background.
Billions of dollars, yes.
And they still are.
Yes.
But with that, they were very weird and strange, and all the dudes had kind of like this weird kind of sexual stuff too. And
the mom looks straight out of Central Casting for the rich white woman who's
like, Armie, my God, where are you living?
Yes.
Right? So she lives up to it. It's not an act. He gets into a couple different things on it, but I thought the parking one was a funny kind of button on.
Okay, I like this one too, by the way, that says your father was having an affair with his secretary.
Oh, press that one. I haven't heard that one.
Right.
Go ahead and press that one, yeah.
I found out 7 years into our marriage that your father was having an affair with his secretary. And you got all of your acting abilities from me. Because when I found out, I never told a soul. I wanted to work it out. I did not want my 2 sons to grow up without a father.
Was that hard to carry that all on your own?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? I would even make fake phone calls, fake conversations, loving conversations with your father, because my parents didn't know.
Oh, wow.
And you all didn't know. So I had to pretend and I had to act like everything was great. To Oklahoma, I took a bullet because I didn't have anywhere else to go. You can't stay in the same home when you know that he's having sex with his secretary.
Wow.
So she surprisingly was pretty open. He talks about like positions that she had put him, like things that had happened that resulted in him actually being sexually abused and stuff. But I feel like he is in some way on the other side of something. Actually, the other one I need you to show is the one where she said, is there any ribs? Is anyone missing a rib?
Oh, for the cannibalism shit?
Yeah, so
did she ever say anything about that or?
Yes, so yeah. So this is her.
Okay, play it.
Like, are there any women out there with ribs or limbs missing?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know as a mother.
Yeah.
Because end of conversation if there are limbs or ribs missing.
Right.
I think you learned not to put stupid things in DM.
And by the way, from the mom,
okay,
this is the only lesson she wants him to learn, which I think is good. Not the other stuff. Just don't put it in writing, son. Do you know what I mean? You know that.
Yeah.
Don't have a paper trail.
Yeah.
Also, can you read the description at the top of what this page is?
Armie sits down with extraordinary people from all walks of life as he rebuilds his own. Don't worry, we feed him before every episode.
There we go.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I like
We're
him.
fun and flirty with it. And why?
Are we going to have him on the show? Should we have him on Drinkin' Bros?
Yes.
All right,
why can
do
he
it.
be fun and flirty with it? Because he didn't really do it.
Right.
Right? He didn't really, not the cannibalism part. He was an asshole. He did take bondage stuff too far. It was not fucking cool, right? But watch the documentary, whatever. But the
Did you watch the entire documentary?
I did.
Okay. And what was your thoughts on it?
I thought that he was into some weird shit, but he would DM these people and literally lay it all out. Like, say what he wanted to fucking do.
I remember reading the DMs on this show when we covered it.
It wasn't a surprise. It wasn't like, oh, I'm a sweet boy, just come over and cuddle. It was, I might,
Carve
this is
my
what I
initials
want to
into
do.
you. Yeah.
Or are you going to be tied up? Or are you into this? Like, are you into this kind of stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
And they were like, yeah, and came over.
Okay.
And did a little bit, whatever. So I think what you kind of took from it was never a surprise. It was never like a girl came over and...
Surprise, it's like a ditty
surprise,
party.
I'm trying to, right?
All right.
And so then there was a little bit of, we were in the age of like no kink shaming.
Yeah,
right?
was there no lawsuits or anything against him or any of that stuff?
I think
I know
they tried to get some settlements, but it was kind of like there was nothing there.
I know his marriage blew up, obviously, because he was married at the time. So
right, and she ended up putting out a lot of stuff, right, and contacting these girls and getting their stories and like putting that out.
The wife did, the ex-wife?
Yes.
Because
got you. She was fucking pissed, right? And I get that.
Yeah.
So, point being, nothing really came of it. I don't know if him emerging is going to have more people come out or more. If there was more, I think it would have.
I mean, you can't cancel his podcast.
No, that you can't.
Yeah.
That you can't at all. Does he go to like a YouTube? Does he do YouTube and everything now?
Looks like he produces the whole thing himself.
Yeah.
Well,
I would maybe go
either
in
lavs
there.
or booms there, so it's not your traditional podcast where you got these type of mics and things like that.
I think he's just recording on the fucking
I know, I would-
shotgun mic.
Yeah, I would go
Interesting.
in there and tweak some sound for him. But other than that,
Yeah. Would you, Jesse?
See, he's got his Spotify.
Would you, Jesse?
not alone. Not
Okay.
alone. He seems like a real cool guy.
Yeah, we could pop him on.
It's already got 87 ratings on
There
Apple.
you go. Okay.
I'm telling you, having the mom on, genius. dude.
Yeah. If
And
she's
being able to handle it and talk
willing to
about.
do it out there.
So, anyways,
Can I say, by the way, too, about I haven't listened to it or anything, but Tom Arnold as a guest, I bet he's great.
He is great.
Because one time when I was in LA, we went to a taping of Best Damn Sports Show, period.
Oh yeah.
And like when I was in high school, it was like 2004. And we just went to it like, fuck it, let's do it. And Tom Arnold, like kind of a cheesy whatever comedian on camera or whatever, but he came and like bullshitted with the audience for like 30 minutes and was just fucking hysterical.
He's really
He's an
funny in real
entertainer.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's probably a sober connection there, but like he is kind of a dude that's like, hey man, you've been canceled. I'm your guy. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna fucking judge you, right? So I think that's how that connection maybe happened. But great.
Interesting.
We're
Interesting.
we're looking forward.
Yeah.
To,
And look, maybe we'll call Armie and have him on and see what happens, okay? I think that'd be fun. I think it'd be fun. He seems like one of those dudes now who's just like, all right, I mean, look, did I fuck it all up? Yeah, I fucked it all up, you know?
But
And then
gosh,
this
if that's not the way
It's the way back.
to my heart always and everyone's really.
Yeah, it's the way back. It's
is to
it's your only way
literally
back.
be completely honest
Mm-hmm.
about, lean into it.
Say what had happened and do all the things, you know? Do all the things. We got a crime corner, nature nook here.
We
What do
have a nature nook.
All right. How bad is it? Told you, I kind of want to see my dad today. You're smiling. Is AI not there yet where we could just feed that song in and it pump out a video for us, Bob? Are we there?
For us to make a video?
Yeah, for Crime Corner.
No, it's probably there. We could probably get it done.
That would rock.
You know what? We probably could, huh?
Yeah.
We'll look into
I
it.
want
We
it to
did
be
the
like
fucking
in a club, like animals in a club and like
Yeah.
just kind of cheesy.
We did the cats fighting for Trump in fucking Haiti.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
something like
why
that.
couldn't we do that for
Yeah.
this?
Something like that. Okay. This one's short.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's going to, fill your need for some kind of.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Patreon
It's
is
Tuesday.
the bloodbath.
We don't go.
Right.
Yeah. We don't
Okay.
go real gore. We just kind of go.
Light gore.
But
All
this
right.
is
Is that a golfer?
What? You'll see. Says Dan likes to say, alligators don't bother people in Florida.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about
Don't
it. You
worry
don't
about
have to
them.
worry
Don't
about
have to
it.
worry about them.
They're harmless.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
They're
Makes
fed.
sense, yeah.
They're like kind of oversized dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Funny
we've
you
heard.
say
So
that.
let's take a little look at about the
Yeah.
oversized dog.
Sometimes, though, I guess you do walk by a gator. And you have to rip your puppy out of its mouth.
Oh, wow. Homeboy's got a cigar in his mouth, too.
Yeah.
Oh, is that happening? Is he gonna do it? Is he
I got it out.
Oh,
Run,
wow.
run,
And
run.
now what?
Nothing
And now
ran
what?
away. Oof.
So this guy's puppy was just playing on his property.
I hate you, Rob.
You didn't like that. That's not your
And he
That's
had
your
to go
gore,
into
right?
the water
Yeah.
to rip it out of this alligator's. Not even a big alligator, by the way.
No.
I don't like seeing dogs in pain.
Yeah.
Both Dan's, Delco and
No.
Holloway, that is their one weakness.
It's an autism thing.
yeah.
Well, first off, happy ending. The dog lived.
Happy ending. Don't worry, Delco.
So these alligators at this size, we had one in the fraternity.
Yeah.
The teeth are so fucking sharp. That guy, I bet he was, his fingers
That's
were
mom
shredded
strength.
after that.
That's
Yes.
mom strength.
Yeah.
And then to keep the cigar in your mouth during the entire thing going underwater.
You're in shock. You're not. You don't even have time to throw the cigar.
Wow, dude, that's impressive.
That is really fucking impressive, actually.
Yeah, and then the
See,
dog
that's-
runs away, so it's a happy ending there.
Yeah, now the
Delco.
gator's like biting the dog, but really what it's trying to do is it's not trying to like rip the dog to pieces. It's holding it so it can drown it.
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
you just made people unsubscribe from the show. I just want to let you know.
No,
Did
they
they?
didn't. They didn't. No.
In the chat, yeah.
No.
They're
sure
saying they're
didn't.
unsubscribing.
No, they're not saying. Nobody's saying that.
Sarah said that.
Nobody's saying that. No.
Sarah's not going
Now,
anywhere.
Sarah,
the dog lived.
The dog lived.
He
It's a
saved the
happy-
Sarah.
dog.
And
All
by the way,
right.
wait, this unsubscribed, I showed months ago, I showed an old lady and her dog dying from the
yeah,
alligator.
but they don't care. They don't unsubscribe for old ladies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the
You
know
dog
what I
died
mean?
too. Or maybe the dog lived,
I think
actually.
the dog was fine.
I think the dog was all
I'm sorry,
right.
the human died, the dog got away.
And that's okay.
That's
You know what I
okay.
mean, Bob? That's okay.
I've said that all the time. I say that all the time to Holloway. I was like, it's the human versus the dog, and he's like, the human needs to die, and I'm just like, okay.
The important thing to remember is gators don't bother you.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
Well, he was technically going after the dog.
Yeah.
I think that killing your dog is bothering you.
A little bit.
Could be
Yeah,
bothersome.
personally.
A little bit.
Could be bothersome. Could be a bother.
A little bit. Damn, man.
If I like have other friends who grew up in Florida and stuff like that. I remember we were at Jake's wedding and Courtney's like afraid of gators and we were just like talking to
Rightfully so.
locals
Yeah, that's
about
not
it.
a,
She was
that's
like,
not a hot take.
yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
I would never live here because of alligators.
That's why.
And I was like, is it really that bad? And one of Jake's female friends who grew up there was like, yeah, I mean, a gator ate my cat when I was a little kid. That was really sad. And I was just like, fuck.
Yeah,
this place.
it's almost just like what they deal with, right? So it's really just like, yeah, I mean, everyone gets a cat eaten or something,
You get
right?
used to it.
In Los Angeles,
Yeah, it
it
makes-
was always the coyotes. Remember the coyotes? We get the dogs?
Yeah, just keep them
Yeah.
away from the water.
Yeah.
But that's all there is there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, keep your dogs away from your backyard, right? You can't really do it.
It's
Everybody has like a fenced-in pool, really, in Florida.
yeah, and that is very true, by the way.
Like a
but this, I
screened
can't
in.
figure out why the dog was even down there by the water.
All right, look at
Because he's
first off,
just fucking
it's a puppy.
walking,
it's a
dude.
puppy.
Yeah,
And
it's
this
a
guy's a
puppy.
redneck, so he's just like,
He's
hey,
just
hey, walk
walking by the
around.
fucking,
Look at
yeah.
that cigar in the mouth.
Yeah.
So I told you,
Yep.
the cigar never leaves that guy's mouth.
This guy is like
Fucking hero.
fucking hero.
Maybe not his first time.
Badass. Probably not
Probably
his first
not.
time.
Allegedly 74 years old, according to the tweet.
Jesus Christ.
All right,
Yeah,
man.
they just age better in Florida.
All right, man.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I mean, you've just done so much to your body at that point where that you're just like, I'm invincible. And that might be it. That's why
No, they're
Gary will
like-
probably never die. You know?
Gary's dying.
Yeah, Gary's inactive.
Internally, his heart's just
dying.
going to explode.
Well, we'll
He's
see.
in like
I think he'll
late
build up a
stages
tolerance
of-
and yeah.
He drinks like 10 energy
Decline.
drinks a day.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
And takes meth.
A lot of meth. And we say meth, by the way, Adderall.
Yeah, yeah,
a lot of
legal,
Adderall,
legal,
but
yeah.
high doses, very, very high
I think
doses.
the other day when he was on the show, I was like, but you're young, right? You're like 25.
No, it's 32.
He's not.
32 right now, yeah.
And I said, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in days.
Welfare
He's well,
check? I mean, what should we?
No, I'll tell you what happened. So here's what happened with Gear Bear. So obviously, Street Gonzo had their season finale over the weekend. It was awesome, but I, both on Drinkin' Bros and this show, I promised you guys one uncensored version. So I made him and Joel go back and re-edit it, and I go, just give me the uncensored version of this, because everybody wants to know, are you guys editing around this shit, or is it real or whatever? I'm like, look, everything you're seeing is real. So then we had to decide over the weekend which platform to do it on. Obviously we got, I think, 2 strikes on fucking YouTube or whatever it is. that expired January 17th, it says. So it was like, that's out, obviously. So put the heavy, edited, blurred version on YouTube. That's fine. Patreon, the back end is YouTube. Then there's also Vimeo, but I didn't think we could show nudity on Vimeo. But then there was Twitter. And I was like, well, fuck it. Twitter, you can show everything, usually. So I had those guys do it. I uploaded it late last night. So the uncensored version, if you want to go to my Twitter, Bob, at STJames, or just search Ross Patterson there. It's pinned to the top of my feed. So you can watch an actual uncensored version of this. And it's complete fucking madness. Like, I mean, it's... Yes, it's everything you thought it was, where you're like, is that guy real? Are those situations real? Or what him and Joel is doing is real? Congratulations. You get to see it. We've had to cut the other shit throughout the year because holy fuck, man. There was some shit in like a strip club, and it was a bunch in Vegas where it was just like, my God, man, this is intense. But this one we left. So have fun with it on there and watch the uncensored version on Twitter. Because what we decided was, I'm not a big social media guy, never have been. Jared Taylor actually got me into it. I was very, very late to it. So I said, all right, if we can afford to lose one account, let's lose my personal account, and then I'll kind of re-upload another one there. So that's where it is.
That still doesn't confirm nor deny whether or not Gary's alive or dead.
I know.
He's alive, but they were working on two different cuts. Alive. And I think it was 45. It's a 45-minute show. So, like, that ain't easy. I'll put it this way.
Necessary, by the
Yellowstone was longer. Yeah, if you watch it, it's really out of control. I did not know what Fantasy Fest was. I'd heard some rumors.
Neither do they.
Yeah.
Because they were early.
And they were there and they were blackout drunk. But there's a lot of nudity, a lot of people partying down there, and good for them. Good for them. Season 2 will come out next year. Not sure where yet. We're shopping it to the networks at the end of January. But we'll let you know. In the meantime, yeah, Gare Bear has got a few days off. Is Joel even awake back there?
Yeah, he just came in.
Oh, he did? Okay, yeah. Because they were working on it really, really late. And we popped it up last night. So it is uncensored fully. No blurs or anything. Just go to that Twitter and enjoy. And holy Christ, man. I can't believe he's alive after this trip.
Right.
Because then when I looked back on it, it was episode 14, and I didn't know it went 14, and it was just like everyone got crazier and crazier. We were like, Jesus Christ, man. How are you alive? Well, got pneumonia and was out for a while after that. So cheers to you guys, and cheers to everybody over at Street Gonzo. Fantastic season. Really catching on everywhere, and we're super fucking amped about it. Crime Corner on Wednesday, who do you got on? Do you know yet?
This Wednesday, we are going to have, for audio.
Yep.
Gary joins us.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, Gary joins us for the Natalie Wood, Christopher Walken, Robert Wagner.
Love that one. I love that one.
Yeah, still very much unsolved, right?
Yep. Yeah, because they were on a boat.
They're on a boat. And they were on a boat in the day.
Yeah.
In the killing days.
Where
nobody's really... You could do whatever you want. It's your word against his. It's if you got a bro that's going to keep his mouth shut, you'll never get caught. No CCTV, no recording. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. No tracking devices, like the day.
And Walken doesn't hang out with anybody in real life at all, except for his wife. So, like, I don't know that you'll ever know the answer to that one. Did you guys take a guess at the end of it?
Yes, we take a guess.
Okay.
And you're right. Yeah, Walken will not touch that story and never has.
Nope.
With a 10-foot pole.
He doesn't do any. He'll do some fun, flirty, like talk shows, like like a Jimmy Fallon occasionally. But I don't even know any of his friends in real life, where it's just him and his wife. And I think she was the casting director of The Sopranos. So like they've each got money, and they're all New York till they die. I think so.
And they're fucking weird, right? Like
yes,
yeah. So
very weird. It's all real.
But I'm just saying, even with like friends or anything, like he has not disclosed or had a conversation about it with anyone.
It would be cool if they left something in like a vault of like, all right, here's what really happened, and I'm sorry. Like after you died, or
yeah. Because like there's no, Robert. We found out on the show, Robert Wagner's still alive.
Is he really?
Which I was like, I don't know why I thought he died.
Because the last time I saw him was in Austin Powers.
He's in his 90s.
He's still alive in his 90s?
Yep. And I was like,
shit. Okay.
So sorry. That was the one little try and get everything pretty researched and right, but that was the one where I was like,
wow. I thought he was dead too.
Dead. I don't know.
Yeah, Bob, look him up. How old is he? How old
94.
He's in his
94?
94. And I think he definitely started laying real low once the captain came out and started talking. So I think maybe he's just like.
Yeah, because didn't they try to reopen that case at one point, I think?
Not
they had asked. I know they asked
Not
the
really,
DA.
just in public
Okay.
Discord. But
All right. And then lastly here, regarding, since we'll keep it in the crime corner theme with the Menendez thing, that DA did not get reelected. So Gascon is out. And the hits keep on coming for the Menendez. I don't know what's going to happen there.
I think it was already recommended, though. Bob, you can tell me more about that. But I think it was already recommended for resentencing. So
that's it? That's kind of all they had to do?
Does it matter who the district attorney...
Yeah, it's nothing's moved since then.
Right, but okay.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that. It's not going to happen.
I am, because my prediction was Christmas. I said they would get out by Christmas. So
they're not getting out.
Oh, you don't think they are? Look, I don't think they should be. We've already discussed that, but because of the show and the Kardashians, I think they get out by Christmas, but they should not.
All right.
I live with you on that one. Appreciate you tuning in, kids. Shit, we'll be live on Drinkin' Bros Sports here in about 15 minutes over on YouTube as well. Subscribe to that. College football preview show with D'Anthony Holloway over there. Big day. And then we got Drinkin' Bros after that today. Full day on the old Tetherball Academy Media Network. Appreciate you tuning in. For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, and Ross Patterson, this is the Revolucion. Buenos tardes, everyone.
Good afternoon.